Hey guys, Tattoo for You, Richard here, and it's time for an update video. Time for an update video, folks. Where I'm at on several things. So I got several things coming up. We have my continuous, never-ending, finished not perfect challenge for myself, personal challenge, which doesn't include painting miniatures, includes art, includes life, includes everything, the world around me. We have Nick's Get It Painted challenge coming up. Well, I guess technically it should be started today or soon anyway. I'm gonna do it. It may not be exactly the way it's supposed to be done or whatnot, but I'm gonna do it kind of in as soon as I can. I have to get these figures finished painting for my my personal challenge, and then I was gonna do what I needed to do for the Get It Painted challenge, which I have a couple of things that I want to throw out as the Get It Painted. Oh, I burped. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. That's the problems with drinking your breakfast. You belch a lot. So yeah, no, I got stuff I just need to get done. Honestly, just flat out get it done. And I'm going to use it for the challenge. That's going to be what I'm going to do for the challenge. Nick's little challenge, Get It Painted challenge thing. How many times am I going to say that? And touch this little white table, make the camera bounce even more and more and more. So, I'm getting set up in here. I'm in the nerd room. I'm going to be in here all day, at least until the kids get home. Trying to do my business and stuff, getting things done in here, knocked out what I need to knock out. We're going to have... I have my pencil. Did I bring a pencil? Yes, I did. And I have my art books. I'm drawing. So I'm going to be drawing in here today. I'm going to be doing stuff. I'm going to go ahead and make Wednesday's video, the vlog video. And that's going to involve these guys. Ooh. What else do I got? Oh, come on now. So I have a little itchy in my eye buckets. My eye buckets have itchy spots sometimes, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Got my YouTube set up. I'm going to watch some YouTube. I've got my midday snack. Why is that sticky? Oh, because my daughter ate breakfast syrup. Yeah, so really that's where I'm at. I've got with Nick's challenge thing coming up. I also have Who Took Your Dice Miniature Wargaming. Has a challenge thing going on. It's kind of for breast cancer awareness and whatnot. Or it's not for breast cancer awareness per se. It's for cancer awareness, period. I have an idea. I always have these stupid, brilliant ideas. We'll talk about that. I'll do a separate video for that. That'll come out later this week. What I'm going to do and everything for that. And I'll talk about my, what we're supposed to talk about in those videos for people who want to do it. So that'll come out later this week, and I'm trying to get back on track. I've just been really blah and crappy lately. Like, I'm not personally I'm just crappy. I crap on you. No, I just haven't felt good. I still don't feel good. I've still have my redness in my legs. They're more pink now than anything, but still, the pink, we need to get them that color all gone so it's back to normal white skin. But yeah, I need to make some tutorial videos. I was asked by somebody to do some airbrushing tips and techniques. I learned to airbrush a long time ago at Six Flags. And I quit for the longest time. After Six Flags, I airbrushed on the sly every once in a while and at school and stuff. But I'm no means like an expert airbrusher. But I do have little tips, personal tips for me, And like one I shout out every time I do airbrushing, which you'll hear me say it before I start these shoes later. about that. But anyway, before I ramble on too much, I have a couple of tutorials and stuff that I want to get out there. Just some other things. Really, that's it. That's it, yeah. Let's go ahead and go table down, guys, so you can see where I'm at on my Finish Not Perfect challenge. And it's still going. Alright, guys, here we are table down with this really crummy lighting today. I don't know why lighting's so bad right now. Let me see. Oh, there we go. I'll brighten it up a notch. Now that I've brightened that up, can I reach my arm around where the light... This is my nerd quarters, so we have light everywhere in this room. So anyway, so here we are on the Finish Not Perfect challenge. I completed the 2 assassins, the 5 squad of the Vespid proxies. These are primed, which is let's just go in turn. Okay, so we saw the Deadpool assassin completed and done. Really, the only thing I did fancy on him is add a sword. And then I cut the tip of the gun down to shorten it. Like, I took a good chunk out of it, too, to make it a little shorter. Then we have the other assassin, a Spider-Girl assassin. Spider-Woman, I'm sorry. The only difference I did on her, really, is I cut her hair off. I glued it in and then cut it off so I'd have that smooth spot back there, and use Zappa Cap, that gap filler super glue, to kind of fill it up. You can't really get a good glimpse, like the light on the phase sword. I'm really pleased with how that turned out. I did the dark tone on the bottom and then light tone on that part, and then on the other side I did it opposite, a little darker on top, a little lighter on the bottom. But overall, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. My lines are a little shaky on the actual spider legs, but I mean, I think I did pretty decent, honestly. I'm like I said, I'm pleased with it. I'm happy. So I got a Spider-Girl assassin. I didn't wash her. I was going to go over with Agdrax Earthshade, but I didn't want to take away too much. I put a little bit on her shoe to see, and it really dulled down that white a lot. And I didn't want to do that because that white's a build up from black to the Luftwaffe gray, and I think over that I did a little pale gray, and then I went over finally with the white just to kind of make it all like last. So that way, if there's any like hollow spots in the white, it kind of gives it a shading effect. Just little oranges and reds on the gun, nothing fancy. You know, like I said, nothing fancy overall. Got her nice little base going on. We've got her Crimson Vested. This was the original one. The one that started it all. And I lost my recipe book. Whoops. So it took me a minute. Yeah, I got a pink fingernail there. So there's my Crimson Vestibid. Like I said, I lost my recipe book, so I had a little issues doing this. I knew basically what colors I did. Let me bring this light over this way a little bit so I can get it in my hand. So I knew, like I said, the generic basic colors I did on it. So I was able to recreate it somewhat. Let me just pick one over here. I think the reds are a little off. Like if you really got down and dirty with it. Did good on the backpacks, making them match up really good. They did a decent job. Guns, I did an okay job on it. Silvers, I think, I don't know if I highlighted up on the silvers on the original one or not. But I did a little bit, not a lot. We got the little white stripe. They all have like a white stripe on the little one wing. So, and I just kind of faded it out a little bit, but I didn't want it to be overly prominent. And we have the basing as the secret weapon miniature bases that I kind of try to do like a black marble on. And really, like, the camera doesn't do them justice. Like, I am pleased with them in person. Like the veining and stuff. And whatnot, and the highlights. I think they turned out really good for that black marble, which is the effect I'm going to do on the temple and stuff in a little while. And I did a little bit of like the gray sand. There was like a little polyp of sand on there, so I did like the sand to make it look like legit desert. So those are done. I even threw this in just for display purposes, you know. Finally got around to painting one of these guys. I should have had a couple more, but I don't know what happened to them. I have the old little canisters. I'm going to paint those up too as part of this. The Griffin, the Griffhound, is done. Our little family pet is finished. There's little splotches on his booty. He's got little spots. Little spots are in. Those are the end things. I almost did a chain running off of him. And then that way I'd have like my dad's character, like have the chain going to his hand. So if like I had them displayed like standing next to each other, he'd be holding the chain. But like, no, the Griffhound's trained. He doesn't need a chain. He's good. I am going to start painting this guy up, my dad's character. I'm going to go ahead and get him started probably today. Start working on a basing of him, like the base tones and stuff in here. It's pretty simple. There's going to be color on the upper plates, like shoulder plates and the chest plates and stuff. And then a lot of metallics and some other colors. And here's my brother's character. Got him primed and ready to go. I'll start painting him as well. I mean, I know the basic colors I'm going to do. It's obviously the colors of the Imperial Knight I have. The blues, the yellows, and the reds are the main tones. So then we're going to have, here's my uncle. The figure I'm going to use for my uncle. Which is essentially a old Imperial Guard tanker guy. Glued down on top of some old Space Marine legs, like that are trimmed. Glued a little gun on his back for purposes. And then he's got one of the family hammers. The hammer downs. I was going to give the hammers a name or something. But, yeah, he's got the gun on his back. So my uncle's character is a pilot and a mechanic, a technician. So he knows a lot about the STC systems and the how they work and how they run, and then the computer aspects of everything. He's like really technologically inclined because my uncle's he's a computer programmer in real life. So I figure I'll add that aspect in. But he's gonna be the pilot for the ships too, and he's pointing. He's trying to get everybody on for the evacuation. My brother's character too. Then we have just a little like one of our own Imperial Knight apprentices. Actually, I called him in training, but Frost and Fist said call him an apprentice earlier, and I was like, man, that's a perfect name for him. Honestly, you've got an apprentice working up to be a knight, like a squire. You know, squires would be there for the knights and hoping to eventually learn the tricks of the trade. I guess I don't know if that's exactly how knights worked back in the day, but that's how I'm pretending it. So anyway, so we have our little apprentice, our knight apprentice. I need to prime him black, or spray him black. Then we have me. I finally did a character up for me. So what we have here is Space Marine legs. So one of my characters, he's supposed to be like the oldest. So my uncle is the oldest, then my dad, and then we'd have me as the oldest son of my dad, and then my brother is the younger son. It was just me and my brother. So I wanted me to be a little bit bigger, and because I have a backstory on him too that we'll talk about later, kind of more when I display everything. But I gave him a little pack and a little gun, and it's one of those Scion guns that kind of cut the tip down and shortened it a little bit because it's just ridiculously long. So you can see, like, that's the regular length that kind of took off a bit, which I kind of like the way it looks better. He's carrying a sword because I like to bash things and slash things, so I got the sword and the hammer, the one of the big family hammers. And what this is one of the Scion arms came with like this little staff, a maul or whatever, had a little skull head on it. So I cut that off, and of course I got the Silver Tower priest or whatever it is. I can't remember what he's called. And I lost the paper to him too right now. But anyway, I got him, and so I could get the Griffhound and stuff. And of course he came with a little hammer, so I put the one on my uncle. And then I cut the tip off, the hammer off the other one, and put it on the top of this. Which I like the way it looks. I think it looks cool. So it worked out pretty good. This guy's already got a beard. And he's got the weird little head on because this is an old fantasy head, like a Bretonian head or something like that. I can't remember where it came from exactly. But yeah, so there's my character. I wanted to do a pistol on him and like a little sidearm, like a little holster or whatnot. I couldn't find it, so that's why I put this on. And I didn't want to glue this straight to his back, so I ended up putting on one of the old backpacks. So I think this is a comms backpack from the Scion kit. I just trimmed everything off of it. Everything that stuck out off of it. So anyway, this guy's going to get primed and blacked out today and maybe started to paint today. Though these guys are just the Ultramarines that came in that one kit. My wife will paint one of those later on. But yeah, that's where I'm at on my Finish Not Perfect. I've had this old Space Marine objective marker for the longest time. And I decided to paint it because I finally decided what I was going to paint it as. But this is going to be because I have bits to make another Tau Commander. So I can do one Tau Commander in the Cold Star suit and then one in the regular suit. And then I'll have the regular suited commander kind of straddling over him, like standing on top of him. But I decided, Space Marine, me and a buddy were talking and doing a Lost Legion Space Marine chapter, like for the second chapter or the 11th, whichever one we choose. But we were jokingly talking about how, I'm doing the Marvel theme with this. Why not do a Marvel themed Space Marine chapter? And we decided Hydra. So it'd be Hail Hydra. And the reason why the Primarch was killed and the chapter was wiped out was because the gene seed was tainted. I'm not going to say tainted with chaos, but I wonder if the gene seed was tainted with like psychic energy. It came out with like psychics, like extreme psychic, and they couldn't have that back then. So he had the two chapters wiped out. But I'm saying his chapter, the Hydra chapter, the Primarch of it was Red Skull. So when he came out, he was mutated. He was deformed. He had the Red Skull head. And the Emperor couldn't have that. He couldn't have that chapter grow any further and have him seen as one of the Emperor's children, the wonderful sons of the Emperor coming from his holy seed. Sounds disturbingly gross. So he had him wiped out. And I guess in the lore, Layman Russ was one of the ones that went out and wiped him out. So what I'm having, and I'm going to make a Primarch for these guys too, but I'm having Hydra chapter, it never died. Like, he wiped out the majority of them, but the gene seed was saved. And so they started slowly growing their ranks. But I'd like to do it all like 30k, like Horus Heresy type armor and stuff like that. I know this isn't, but all 30k like equipment and technology and stuff and tanks and just everything that's 30k related, armor, the works, and just do a Hydra army, Hydra chapter. I would do a really cool chapter master. Make it look, sorry, it's really fun playing with the grass. Make it look really cool, and then this is all dreaming, guys, by the way. But I want to find a good Primarch model, one that I can proxy and maybe cut up, which I don't want to cut up Forge World, but maybe I'll mess around with like a China cast. Yep, I said it. I apologize. But do something to make a Primarch model that would be Red Skull, because the ultimate goal of the chapter master of the Hydra is to resurrect Red Skull. Like, they still have his body and his gene seed there, and they're trying to resurrect him because, the Hail Hydra. You cut off a head, the chapter still continues on to grow in its place. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know why, I just like it. I tried to paint the little chapter symbol, the Hail Hydra symbol, the Hydra logo on their freehand, but I had cut and chiseled into the shoulder pad, so it was a little whack and hard to do. I might do some green stuff work later, and like get an old, a couple of Space Marine shoulder pads that I have spare, and do some green stuff work on it, so it's an actually raised Hydra logo. And then maybe, once I get around to casting stuff, I'll do a little cast and make a bunch of extra shoulder pads for me to use. But we'll see. That'll be later down the line. Same thing for this, but I just kind of like that idea. We were sitting there talking about it, and it worked out pretty good, and so I decided to paint the Space Marine chapter on the base. And I figure, since ultimately my Tau are going to end up in the Pelegron sector cluster area. Maybe that's where that chapter's hidden off in there. Or they're hidden at the edge of the Ghoul Stars too, since the Ghoul Stars is really dangerous. They hang out there. I don't want them to be tainted with the chaos. But yeah, I have ideas. I have ideas for days, guys. This is ridiculous. I'm an idea master when it comes to this stuff because I have fun making stupid stories up. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna cut it here. It's getting kind of long. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this, and thank you for continuing to support me and help me out and ride this crazy life train. And boy, does it get crazy sometimes, don't it? But guys, you're the best. You're the greatest. I love you all so, so much. I wish you could understand that, and it's not like just something I say. It's the truth. I love everybody. You brighten my day. I try to do my best to brighten everybody else's day, too, and I hope I can do that somewhat. Guys, keep rocking that nerd life, my friends. I love you all. I'll see you later.